Anyway, who's our fourth historical figure? We're doing it.
Well, the fourth one you might have expected. We have jockeyed around the idea of writing a musical about him. He's a very pivotal figure in French history. Another tactical genius. I don't think he's among your four beloved generals. He is. Well, how about that? It is Napoleon Dynamite. He loved tater tots.
This one tastes
and he talks
like
about
the cow got in a garlic patch.
And he loved drawing lagers.
Talking about Napoleon Bonaparte?
Specifically, yeah.
Specifically, please be specific.
Specifically, you know, and we've talked about this before.
Don't say it.
What?
Okay, please say it.
I don't know what you're...
No, please.
We've talked about this before, but, you know, the Napoleon complex.
That's what I said, don't say it.
I mean, he's the short guy. He's a short guy. And then he wanted, you know, he's like, to compensate for that, probably had a short penis.
Something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem.
He wanted to overachieve.
A few things. First of all, there isn't real historical consensus of how tall he was. It's been argued that the French inch and foot and the English inch and foot were separate measurements, and he was maybe 5'6", which was average for French at the time.
Shorter than me.
One could also say that he was surrounded by his imperial guard, who it was required to be at least 6 foot tall. So he always looked short in comparison. Also, he was called Le Petit Caporal. You know, petit meaning a term of endearment in French, but also means short.
Oh, I see.
Like mon petit chou, my little cabbage.
Yeah, a little cabbage.
Mon petit chou.
So it's a term of endearment, but like someone who didn't know that was like, oh, they call him short. Also, should we judge someone by how tall they are? Like, are we in a society where height doesn't matter? Napoleon came to power in France in a time of utter chaos. You know the Reign of Terror?
You know, I may have heard of it.
You know why it's called the Reign of Terror? Because it's fucking terrifying, okay? It was madness. Like, the revolution was about equitable treatment for the lower class, but it was also about revenge against the upper class. Like we had been subjugated by the nobility for a long time. We're gonna fucking kill them all, and like if we even think that you're helping them out, we're gonna kill you also. Like, it was a time of utter, it's terrible. All of Europe, all of monarchic Europe, which was the entirety of Europe, everywhere in Europe was a monarchy at the time, saw that France killed their king. And they're like, oh no, you didn't. No.
Oh, this is like right after the revolution.
Yeah. I mean, Napoleon came to power and was a direct
response to the French Revolution.
Yeah. Napoleon started out as a minor artillery officer defending the streets of Paris. And slowly rose in power. Basically, I mean, you can't extract Napoleon from the French Revolution. And, you know, the rest of Europe saw France as this hodgepodge of villainy and said, we need to put a king back there because, you know, our people might start getting ideas about overthrowing us and killing us. Like, we don't want that.
So I guess if I'm looking at it in terms of how I would write a musical, what is the climax? Is that Waterloo?
No.
Like, where was Napoleon at his peak before the decline?
So, I mean, that's fast forwarding very far.
Okay, sorry. Rewind.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could give you an outline history of the entirety of the Napoleonic Wars. It would take a while. Napoleon, at his height, invaded Russia with 600,000 people. That's not like misestimation. He came with 600,000 people.
Wow.
He underestimated the Russian resolve. He invaded in summer, so don't talk about Russian winters. Expecting to forage off the land and to take supplies as he conquered deeper into Russia. The Russians, not feeling inclined to help Napoleon, burned everything. They retreated into the depths of Russia and burned everything.
They burned their own.
Napoleon captured Moscow. Napoleon entered Moscow unopposed and found it on fire. Like, they literally burned down Moscow in his wake. And, he couldn't find shelter, he couldn't find food, so he had to withdraw, and, then the Russian winter kicked in, and then he lost staggering numbers to desertion and disease and frost. But so he disastrously retreats from Russia with a very reduced army. Literally every power in Europe joined together to declare war against him. So now he's at war with Russia, Prussia, Poland, England, probably fucking Belgium, Austria. Just throw the Ottomans in there. They probably weren't even there, but who cares? They're Hanover, all the German states. They all come together. They defeat Napoleon at the Battle of Leipzig, which he's outnumbered by probably 5 to 1. He exiled to Elba. He escapes, comes back to France for 100 days, rallies an army, travels to the Netherlands to stop the British and the Prussians from emerging. He attacks the British. Wellington, famously at Waterloo. He commits all of his reserves against the British. It was looking harrowing for the British. And at that point, the Prussians arrived, at which point doubled their numbers. So that was 2 to 1 against Napoleon, and then he couldn't.
That was it.
That was what Waterloo was. So, like, people think of Napoleon as this, like, warmonger who fought all these wars. He did fight a lot of wars because he was trying to defend the ideals of a revolutionary France from people who try to snuff it out, right? He was trying to. I mean, he became an emperor. He declared himself emperor. That's not good. But he established a meritocracy in France. He established a robust code of law called the Napoleonic Code. When he was exiled to St. Helena for the last time, he said, Napoleon will die, but his code will live on. I think he's a deeply flawed figure. He was power hungry to the core. I cannot deny that. But I truly believe that his desire for power came from a place of wanting to exact change and benefits for the French people. And an extension, the people of Europe. Europe was at status quo, and he flipped the table. For that reason, he is the most influential figure, I believe, in the last 300 years. And I think he's a French hero. Like, people deride him and say that the French shouldn't revere him as a national hero.
Do they revere him?
French people love Napoleon. And he was a genius also. Like, I haven't even talked about his battle prowess at all.
Not yet.
Like, his maxim was divide and conquer, right? Because he always fought overwhelming odds. He always fought coalitions, and his theory was to break each thing into individual bite-sized pieces and take out each in line, right? Don't let your enemy congregate. Like, cut a wedge between them and then take them out one at a time. And he was mostly successful.
Yeah, seems like a pivotal figure. Seems like a great subject for our bluegrass Broadway musical.
So I'm moving.
This is my Waterloo.